And welcoming in here Jan Lorenz, the Senior Vice President, Head of Global Assets at Nuvei. But great to have you here. Very excited to start talking with you about what Nuvei does and everything that you guys do as a company. So let's dive in. Nuvei as a whole, what is the company all about? Who do you guys service and what's the company do?
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for having me here. So Nuvei is publicly traded listed company, right? It's in the US as well as in Canada. And it's a tomorrow's payment platform. So we are designed to accelerate our businesses and customers' focus, flexible and scalable technology in terms of payments and payment next kind of generation of payments, offer all payout options and benefits from card issuing, banking, risk and fraud management and services. At high level, you're looking at an absolutely robust, complete payment platform.
Excellent. Okay, and so at Nuvei, right, who would the ideal client or customer of the company be? Who would you guys ideally be looking to work with your services?
This is a good question because the list is very long. So as you can imagine, we are catering and covering lots of verticals. It goes from gaming, travel, airlines, e-commerce, marketplace, blockchain and crypto, card issuance, bank as a service. So this is all cared for and catered within one house under one roof through one single API. So that will dictate our clients' pipeline, and ideal clients, customers are globally spread. There are multinationals companies in those segments and sectors I mentioned, operating and receiving and sending payments across the globe.
Amazing. Okay, what does the development look like at Nuvei? How do you guys grow as a company? What new things do you add to what you do? And what does the development process look like in terms of adding new things or growing as a company overall?
That's something that we really carefully considering in the company and go about. The idea and goal for us is to have one connection, one platform, one integration, sitting under one roof, allowing to cover a globe, all the jurisdictions, all the markets. At the moment, we are looking at 200 markets. We can access and offer our payments. We are looking at around 46 local acquiring markets and 150 currencies and 570 alternative methods of payments. So it takes lots of development and maintenance, but also allowing those clients having those local method of payments at their fingertips, rather than kind of push their payments globally through very expensive cross-border payments network or using credit card kind of rails. So the whole development is around the actual platform. And then, as a result of it, you are looking at geo expansions, which is very important, licenses, compliance, risk analysis. So that development goes in that direction.
Amazing. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about some of the recent market events, right? To what extent does the crypto market and everything that's happened with FTX and the recent markets there and everything in the global market as well, not just crypto, how has that affected Nuvei, if in any ways, has that affected Nuvei in the last few months?
Well, it's a good question, right? And everybody's asking, it's a hot topic. Everybody's asking around, what will be the impact. I guess we are going to have to wait to see how this all plays out in the crypto market. However, those misbehaviors will have clear consequences. One would hope so. Firstly, we are seeing some effects kind of arising from this FTX unbundling. So as it shows clearly which counterparties in the market have lent or interacted with either the exchange or with its sister company, and what those exact liabilities are or will be. So I would certainly hope that, as a result of this or effect will accelerate introduction of regulatory initiatives across the globe with a focus on extensive consumer, businesses, investors protection. That's very important. And based on the current occurrences, for example, it would be extremely helpful in the market to see, while using own cryptocurrency, a full disclosure of its own balances in a compliant and transparent way being presented. So that the poor liquidity at the moment, when you look at the market and the impact of the FTX, and in combination of the poor liquidity in the market at the moment, could last beyond the end of this year. The combination of rising energy costs, weaker Bitcoin prices has led to increasingly stressed economic conditions, especially for Bitcoin miners as a kind of community and many other players in that field. On the other hand, you have some light good messages from the stablecoin side, where the dominance has increased, which is a good sign always, quite significantly, which is great to observe. And all the above kind of mentioning, all this could lead up to a slightly prolonged crypto winter, if you like. So it could go beyond actually the end of this year. And prompting, financial institutions, all the market participants, and other fintech to shift their focus in the meantime to elsewhere or to something else, like product innovation and acceleration in local markets and more. When you think about the kind of already challenging market situation, so the positive note for me, for us, everybody kind of blockchain related are, the on-chain decentralized exchanges. Now I'm talking not decentralized, but decentralized exchanges are indeed, being successful, increasingly successful. So the technology itself remains extremely robust, widening or broadening the product offerings, which is great to see, regardless what's happening out there, not only in terms of tokenized applications. And I do really believe, if you ask me actually where this is kind of heading, what's the prediction of the market, so I do really believe that the next issued securities will be indeed tokenized.
Interesting. Okay, really interesting. And another thing I want to mention briefly too is the fraud management side of things for Nuvei, right? What do you think are some things about the fraud management side of your industry that are overlooked or maybe not paid enough attention to that cause problems for companies and consumers in the space?
Very interesting question. I mean, on our side, the fraud management, it takes a priority. As I said, we just kind of spanning over so many verticals. And we're standing on so many business legs. For instance, acquiring. We are, looking into payouts, pay-ins. We stay closely with schemes, Visa and MasterCard. We have licenses, and kind of a compliance-related reporting duties. From risk management to reporting requirements. Part of our companies are also EMI license companies with duties to report to central banks. So fraud was always part, and on the top of the list, we've been kind of dealing and looking into quite intensely, based on our kind of compliance setup.
Excellent. Okay, Jan, a final question for you. For people that want to get involved with Nuvei, right? For anybody that would want to start interacting with your platform, become a customer, become an investor maybe, what are the best ways to get involved with you and your team? What does that process look like?
It's very simple. As we grow into different regions and jurisdictions, so we dive into, we are a global platform, but with local access. So in most of the markets and continents, we do have set up offices. We have connection or connectivity to our sales reps on the ground. So you can reach out to us via different channels. Lots of conferences we are just enrolling and presenting at and going into.
Outstanding. Well, it's certainly going to be exciting to see. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you, learning about what you guys do. Very excited to get this in front of our investors and our consumers at the conference and to connect you guys with more of our following as we move forward in the Benzinga ecosystem. Jan Lorenz, pleasure talking with you. Thank you.
Likewise. Thank you for having me, Mike. Speak soon. Thank you.